Run.
From the source, Ranker.com. Gory tales of vampires have been around since at least the 17th century. For most people, vampire movies, books, and games are just harmless fun. There aren't any real vampires, or are there? A few people take vampirism very seriously. Here is the story of two such people. Daniel and Manuela Ruda of Western Germany believed Satan told them to end their friend's life. The young couple, self-proclaimed Satanists and vampires, married on the 6th day of the 6th month to signify their alliance to the beast. Manuela sometimes slept in a coffin. She also had her teeth removed and animal fangs implanted in their place. The couple said Satan told them they needed to murder their friend, 33-year-old Frank Hagen. They picked Hagen because, according to Manuela, he was so funny that he would be the perfect court jester for Satan. They invited Hagen over, telling him they were going to a party. Daniel hit David in the head with a hammer, and then they stabbed him 66 times. After he passed, they carved a pentagram into his stomach, drank his blood, and had sex in Manuela's coffin and prayed to Satan. When authorities came into their apartment several days later, they found Hagen's decomposing body near the coffin. At the trial, the pair denied, saying they were simply Satan's instruments. Manuela testified that their Satan ordered us to do. We had to comply, she said. It wasn't something bad. It simply had to be. We wanted to make sure that the victim suffered well. End quote. The jury disagreed, however. In 2002, they were both sentenced to psychiatric hospitals. Daniel for 15 years, Manuela for 13 years. Vampires or just psychos? After Manuela divorced Ruda while behind bars, Ruda was accused of planning a hit on his ex. According to prosecutors, he tried to hire a woman to kill Manuela because he was angry and upset because she divorced him and was released from jail. The court spokesman said, the plan was seemingly for the woman he contacted to get a job in the kitchens of the psychiatric unit where his ex-wife was and kill her out of revenge. Manuela was sentenced to 13 years and has since been freed from a psychiatric unit but is still receiving treatment. She has been given a new identity and has no further contact with Ruda. Ruda, who works as a librarian in a prison, petitioned to be allowed to rejoin society. Let's hope he is denied. So what do you guys think? Was it fair that she was released and he could possibly be released? Let us know at legendslorehauntings.more or comment below, and we will put your comments on a future episode. So that was a true story on some so-called vampires. What do you guys think?
Creepy. Yikes.
Creepy and like demented.
And
kind of funny at the end, because
he's not a vampire because he's old, right? So.
But he really was convinced.
Well, I think they did worship Satan.
I think
I do believe they were influenced.
They thought they were vampires and did everything that vampires would do.
Right, but they
just
obviously
didn't have it in their genes, like,
right?
You know.
Yeah.
But that's nuts how some people can get to that point.
And so, I have a couple questions for you guys.
And what does it take?
That's what I'm asking. Do you think they were like psychotic before they started the Satan worship, or do you think they were just normal people that got in too deep and got taken over by Satan, or do you think that was just their excuse to be psycho killers?
All of those things could be completely true, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I another option is like, what if they like really just were into it at first, like they just love vampire stuff, and then they have like underlying psychotic genes and it brought it out in them.
That could very well be.
That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah.
So do you think there is any real influence with the devil, or do you think they just added that for...
No,
see, I do
there
too.
began to be real influence with it because
I think
they
they
stepped into that.
And I was just going to say
they
that
stepped into that. It's like the Ouija board. I won't touch it because I'm just scared that a bad one could come to me.
Right.
They literally jumped through that
They were
thing.
calling
They were running through it, making sure they got through it. It's like they wanted
it. And so,
of
course, it's going to come because they're looking for, specimens all the time,
But here's my question. How did they transplant the animal teeth into her face?
Yeah, like who does that? What
well,
dentist?
How can they?
What dentist? Well, I can see how, like, say they... I mean, I don't know.
How do you attach an animal tooth to your human face?
Well, no, but that's what I was thinking. I was thinking how that could be when I was doing the story.
How do they do implants?
And so, well, that's what I was thinking. There's so many sickos out there in every genre that there's probably some sicko dentists.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
And
you're right.
They, being Satanists,
in a group,
probably had a fresh animal corpse and they got the fresh teeth and they preserved them somehow and implanted them. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the only way.
Within that group,
unless you put him in with some super glue.
I got a dentist and he will do it for you. Yeah.
Like some download dentist.
Think
that's
about the
like
dark web. I've never been on it.
That's what I mean. I've never been on it. I'm scared to go on it.
You could probably buy some animal teeth.
Yeah, exactly. If they're selling body parts, you could probably find anything. And if you have enough money.
Not only good people are dentists.
They don't even have to be dead.
Exactly.
The animal doesn't even
They'll
have to
do
be
anything
dead.
for
They
the
can
money.
just put the animal
because I'm sure
to sleep, not dead asleep, but put them under.
Right.
I hope they do that, Polly. Thank you for that thought, because I hope that's what they do.
Oh, but they probably don't, because they're Satan worshippers, so they probably sacrifice the animal.
But the dentist might just be a person who will do whatever is more money.
Yeah.
But that could be, but it could just be a weirdo dark web dentist that is like, okay, I'm going to work on
just
people
to kill
that
it
think
so I
they're
can get the tooth out.
vampires. Yeah. And then we give Satan the sacrifice.
I don't think the people they buy, I don't think the dentist really cares personally about them.
Right. I think you're right.
I think it's whatever's
money,
whoever they are. Like,
money
it's easier
talks,
just to kill it, or, money talks, but there's no reason I have to kill the dog, so I'll just put it out for a minute.
I like to think that's the way it went. So does Heidi, apparently.
She says, you're putting me to sleep
because we're those type of people. But at the same time, we would never.
I could never.
We love animals.
Think they're vampires. And
if
take
somebody came to me and would
you're willing
talk
to
to me
take
about their
animals' teeth
plan,
out for psychos, you're probably just going to kill the dog.
like if you were my friend and you guys are my friend, duh. But say you guys came up to me and were like, I have this plan where I'm gonna kill my dog, or I'm just gonna take my dog, put him under, and then I'm gonna take out my eye teeth.
Trevor
and put
just
his
ran
teeth.
from you.
No, I would never, Trevor.
He said,
do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you were my friend and you came to me with a plan like that, I'd be like, we're gonna have to cut ties right this minute because that's weird and beyond. And no,
that dentist had to have already been on the dark web.
That's what I'm saying. He was probably a dark web guy.
He was probably in their
genre.
Yeah,
like he was
in
their genre.
You find the teeth, and I'm down.
Right.
Fixing it for you.
It's just grody. But okay, now my next question: what in the F? As a two-parter. Part 1. 15 years and 13 years, why wouldn't you just get life? You took a life and you maliciously, knowingly took a life. And you're 15, why wouldn't you be forever?
That's why I think it's bullshit they got the psycho card.
And then she got out. How is she allowed to live a life now?
And they changed her identity.
That's what I'm saying. How did she get that?
How do you get to change your identity? You did something horrible.
You killed someone. He was just a roommate that was funny. That was somebody's son.
What if the devil has completely taken over these people?
Well, that was my first question.
And she persuaded her way out.
That was my first question. Did you think they were under the actual influence of Satan, or do you think they were just nuts?
But weren't they
nuts people don't get what they want like that.
wasn't it to a mental place they were convicted to?
Yeah, they didn't even go to
So
prison.
why
They went to
didn't-
psychiatric wards for him
Shoulda-
for 15,
13
her
and
for
15,
13. But they let her out.
Yeah.
He's still there because
Yeah.
of he planned
Right.
They
her
should have gotten
demise.
both.
But
And so he's
it should
getting
have been
extra.
13, 15 mental, then prison
Yep.
Right.
for the rest of your life. Is
Because
what it
the
should
only
have been.
reason
Right.
it
Oh,
should be that is
absolutely.
because in prison they're gonna be like,
I don't understand how does she
They
get
could be
let
trying
out?
to
She
suck
murdered
blood in
someone,
prison or something.
knowingly murdered someone.
Yeah. And
I don't understand
and
it.
gets to get a new identity. on
Right,
top
and
of
gets
it.
to live a
if
life.
the death
That guy
penalty was
doesn't
an
get to
option,
live a
they
life.
should just have a death penalty.
So she is a vampire because she gets to live on.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
feel bad for the Hagen guy, the victim,
Yeah.
and his
Well,
family.
yeah.
And his family, they have to know that she's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
They could run
That's
into her
so messed up.
somewhere and not even know. They could move next door to her and she has a new identity, so they wouldn't even know.
Right.
Not that the FBI would probably put her, but why would the FBI give her special treatment?
Exactly. That's
Unless
my
she
point.
snitched or gave them some
What's
kind of
to
inside
snitch?
information that she got in prison.
Maybe
No,
that-
she
'cause
wasn't
like,
in prison.
Right.
She
Maybe
was in a
she's-
psych
no.
ward.
She snitched on.
What would she
I'm sure
snitch
they had
on?
other weird friends that did some stuff
Yeah, maybe they knew
She
some
probably
murderers
snitched
on the
on
down
all
low.
of 'em
Yeah, and got
that were drinking
time
and
out
stuff.
for
No,
yeah.
but she was crazy. So
But
But
they
maybe she
reformed her
claimed
and
she wasn't crazy anymore, and she's like, I gotta tell you the truth about all of it. I
Right.
need it, and I need
maybe, and I need
less
an
time.
amenity or whatever they call that.
A
and,
deal.
Yeah, let's make me a deal.
yeah.
I'll spill all the dirt. You can get all these
Yep.
a-holes off
And
the
she would
street.
have probably had
Let me skate and give me a new identity so I don't get cut for being a snitch.
probably
what I
told more
mean?
on the guy what they did, but blamed it on him.
Oh yeah, she was probably like, he made me
And
do
he
it. He
also did
abused
this,
me.
But it was both of them.
But it was probably her damn idea.
Women,
know what I mean?
I'm a woman, and
Honestly.
I know we like as in general, not me and you, but
Right.
are some manipulative,
Yeah.
psycho bitches.
Yeah.
Like a lot of.
Right.
Just like a lot of guys are deadbeat. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not all,
Well, and like we had
but
said,
it's
oh, go
a
ahead.
big amount.
Like we were saying last week, though, I would be more scared to be stalked by a woman than a man because women are calculating. They are,
Yeah.
man, they are sneaky. They are frenemies. They are, do you know what
But
I
I
mean?
can fight.
Like,
So I
they're
would.
vengeful.
I'd rather be by a woman because I can fight enough.
Oh, I'll fuck you up.
Yeah, but a
Come at me,
man.
bro.
I always think I can. I always think
Yeah,
I can fight a
baby.
man, but they're just
Fuck around and
stronger,
find
then
out.
I just like go like this, and they hold my arm, and
I just used your favorite. Fuck around, find out.
I'm better.
Sorry, language.
No,
It's
I
just
love
a
it though.
saying. It's just a saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
we don't have like toddlers watching it. I would let Gabby listen to that and laugh, and then I'd be like, "Don't say that."
Right. Well, it's not made for kids. I already when
Right, kids
when I
shouldn't be
publish
listening
this,
to
if you're a kid, go watch whatever's popular now. Like
And
what?
tell your parents to listen.
I don't even know. I don't have kids. What's popular now?
have
Baby
kids.
Shark.
She's like,
No, my child is 21.
That's true.
I have
the
no
way
kids.
you said it though made it sound like you never had a kid.
Right. No, I have a
Oh,
son,
FYI.
but he's an adult now.
Happy Mother's Day late yesterday.
Yes, happy
Yay!
Mother's Day to my besties and to all the mothers out there.
Yes.
Because
Happy Mommy's Day. Anywho.
And
yeah.
now, moving along, I have Polly next doing a creepy story that is
Oh, yeah.
true. What do
Oh,
you
yeah.
have today,
Oh yeah,
Polly?
from 50 Strange Unsolved Mysteries.
All right.
We have Mary Reeser, The Puzzled Case of Human Combustion. On July 2nd, 1951, in St. Petersburg, Florida, Mary Hardy Reeser was visited by her son, Dr. Richard Reeser, in her apartment. Mary had told her son that she had taken 2 mild sedatives that were mainly used to calm patients before surgery. She had also told him she was planning to take 2 more before bed. Later that night, she would fall asleep in an upholstered chair for the last time, as she would become the victim of an apparent house fire. Thank you. The next morning, Mary's landlord would report smelling smoke around 5 a.m., but it wasn't until 8 a.m. when she would go deliver a telegraph to Mary that she would smell the smoke again. She discovered soot in the hallway and the doorknob leading to Mary's apartment was too hot to grab, so she enlisted the help of nearby house painters to get into the apartment. What they found inside the apartment was truly horrifying. They found the remains of Mary Reeser. Her skull apparently was shrunk to the size of a cup, and parts of her spine also remained. But the most terrifying was Mary's left foot was found still in its black satin slipper.
God. That's nasty.
Yeah,
like what did it?
Ew,
Who found it? And could you imagine? I'm
ew,
sorry.
the landlord. The skin was unburned. Ew, the rest of her remains.
What?
Yeah, in her slipper, her foot was
That's
just
Like, how did it just... Okay, we'll ask after. I
Yeah.
won't finish, but I'll remember.
The rest of her remains had been completely cremated. Yeah. What makes this case odd was the environment of her surroundings. In order for the body to be cremated, the body must burn at 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit for 3 to 4 hours. Yet somehow the surrounding area of her chair and the rest of her apartment were relatively unaffected. The walls had no burn marks and showed no signs of scorching or burned paint. Light switches were melted, but outlets were still completely functional. Candlesticks had melted, but their wicks stood upright, and a stack of newspapers close to the chair was undamaged. Mary's neighbors were also unaware of the fire.
Ew.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Either way, not good.
No. And my question was, why just her leg and shoe didn't burn? Like,
Just
did
her
she
foot.
dip it in something? Or do you know what I mean? Like,
No, I think this is a pure phenomenon.
Yeah.
I
It
think
was
it is
just-
too,
yeah.
because
There's no
I've
other
heard
way
of other
around it.
cases.
And you know what? It
Yeah.
reminds me of magicians nowadays. Just like they have real magic. So
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
Chris
I'm
Angel
not-
does.
I'm not against-
telling
Yeah.
you, I saw him
I
in
mean, I
person.
know it. Like I have to chalk it up to that because I've
Right.
seen some magicians lately, like on AGT or this other show, and I'm like, there's no way,
Yeah.
there's no trick that you can do that with. You have
Exactly.
magic.
Have you seen the
Right.
End of
Carbonaro
story.
effect?
So
Oh,
that was
Yeah.
a phenomenon.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Dan and I went to see Chris Angel, and we were up, I don't know, 18th, 19th row, like center,
Yeah.
and he was on stage 1 second, not even a minute. 1 second he's on stage, the next second he is in our row. We fist bumped
Yeah.
him. Ooh. But yeah, he was in our row.
Wow, yeah.
How?
Yeah,
How?
exactly.
And then
Hologram
I don't know. Well, I don't know
for
though.
the stage. I don't know.
I don't know. But then
But if did he poof away in front of you? 'Cause that'd be cool.
he was gone. Like it was just, he was gone. Like he was there on stage on top of this cage,
Uh-huh.
like a huge cage, and he was on top of it, and then he's gone, and he's in our row, running down our row, fist bumping people. And we're like, what the, where, how, the, who?
Yeah.
Did he have a stunt double? But it was
Right.
him. Like, I don't understand. But like, there's so many things that he does. Like, he would go to Vegas, and there'd be like this famous artist does these pictures of martinis and olives and things like that, and he'll just go and he'll be on the wall at the gallery or whatever, and he'll just reach in and take the martini out,
Yeah.
and it's not in the picture anymore, and it's in his hand, and you
Yeah.
can drink it, and it's a martini, and he'll eat the olive. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Like,
That's what I've been
Just-
seeing lately.
Exactly.
That's
and
why
I'm
I
like, does
think
he have a
that-
deal
that
with
stuff,
Satan? Like, what
right.
the hell's going on?
That's what scares me when they're that good. It's like,
Yeah, David Blaine, I used to
Mm.
feel that way about David Blaine. And then, like, the levitating thing, and then you find out that's just a trick or whatever.
Right.
So then you're like, man, is that what one of these
Right.
are? Or is
but
it...
when some of them
I
are
gotta pee.
so spot on, it's like so unexplainable.
Yeah, like, meh.
Like you seeing it in person. You know, seeing it in person, it's like one thing to see it on TV because they could
Yeah,
trick
because
you.
they could like
But when you
edit.
see it in person,
Yeah, Dan and I were there, and
I
he
haven't
was
got
like,
to see it in person.
Right.
dude, it was the best besides Cirque du Soleil. It was better than Cirque du Soleil, but that was the second one because it was just
Yeah.
amazing. But he just, I'm telling you, he was there, and he was in our row. And
Yeah.
it was like far up, like the stage was here. We were like row 18 or 19, I can't remember, but it was center. And he was like on top of this cage thing, gone, running down, fist bumping people.
Man.
What the what?
Yeah.
It was weird.
It
was, and I mean, that
cool.
was just the main thing I can remember, but he did so many crazy things.
Wow. That is
So
cool.
I don't know.
But why? I don't know.
Yeah.
Why does it the leg?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Because
why is the
I
leg
guess
left?
just
Why didn't it burn?
everything combusted and just
And something about
left.
the leg in the
the
chair.
foot just
Like something
it
about
was
the
just a
fire
foot.
said stop.
Boom.
It was weird.
Yeah.
But all right, do you guys
Okay.
have any other
Weird
creepies?
stories? Did any of you?
Yes.
combust? No, I'm just kidding.
If any of
Get it?
you
'Cause you
Ah,
can't. Just seeing if you were listening.
seeing if you're catching it. If any of you have some creepy or scary stories or encounters that you would like to share, we will put them on the future episode if you send them to legendslorehauntings.more@gmail.com. And as always, thank you so much for listening, liking, sharing. Thank you to all of our subscribers.
Yeah,
I am
guys.
so
We
appreciative.
love you.
We
Yeah.
love you guys so much, and we're going to keep trying to make better and better content for you.
Yeah.
And until next time, keep it creepy. We love you.
Yeah, guys. Hey, guys at work. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.